Good morning. I'm Reverend Keith, and I am welcoming you to our daily affirmative prayer time where we are allowing the spiritual technology of prayer to bring us into a greater and grander experience of life. And we do that by consciously participating in the unfoldment of our lives. We consciously participate, which means the capital C consciousness, which means we align with the energy of the divine, we align with the energy of the soul. This is what meditation, this is what prayer does. It allows us to lift from time and space into that eternal frequency, and allows us to begin to understand the mystical laws of the universe as opposed to the carnal laws of science or physics or even of man. And so we rise into a greater and grander experience of goodness, for we know that good is what undergirds all life. And I would say our spiritual practice and our prayer practice is very much like going to the gym. You go and you work out the muscles, and in the beginning sometimes it seems a little wonky. You're trying to find your center of balance. You're trying to even enjoy the process. You might even find some resistance along the way. Sometimes we don't like to go to the gym or do that which is good or healthy for us. Sometimes we're making changes to our diet, which at the beginning we don't particularly care for. And anybody who's ever gone through, as I did years ago, believe it or not, I was a smoker. This is going back a couple decades, actually. And, if any of you have ever heard or experienced where your taste buds kind of get numbed out to certain things, your smelling gets a little warped, things of that nature, and then all of a sudden you start to clean up and things start to come back online. You get a greater sense of smell, you get a greater sense of taste. Not too different than doing a cleanse when we start to detox the body. So prayer is very similar to a cleanse, very similar to working out at the gym. And it is very similar to just taking care of yourself. It should be part of our daily routine. But like I said, sometimes there's this experience of where we feel like we are having some resistance. But it's easier and better, just like eating well, just like doing a cleanse, just like going to the gym, or whatever it is that you do for physical fitness, emotional and mental fitness. This is the ultimate because it lifts us into the realms of the infinite benevolent possibilities. Science has been doing a lot of work over the years to prove how meditation is so beneficial to your health, and prayer is done from a meditational state. And so it is enormously beneficial. The one thing we add in is the conscious use of the law of transmutation and the conscious use of the law of creation. And whether you know about them or not, just like cause and effect, they're happening regardless of your awareness to them. So our capital C consciousness brings us into that awareness so that we can participate in the spiritual technology that lifts us to a greater and grander experience of good. It's really just realigning back to the beginning. So good morning. It's good to see everybody starting to come in. Good morning, Pat and Lauren and Kathy and Florence and David and Patricia and the other Patricia. And it's good to see you, Leslie. Welcome everyone who's streaming in. Those of you coming in on Zoom, those of you coming in on Facebook Live, either from the Soul Center Facebook page or my Facebook page, wherever you're coming in from. Welcome, good morning. We're getting ready to take off. Many of you have been here since the inception. And so I've heard some wonderful testimonies of how life is expanding in beautiful and benevolent ways. And so I want to continue to expand that, and just, reiterate that good with the capital G, the good that we talk about spiritually, is like it's better than you could ever imagine. Bliss begins to describe it. And so if you're not experiencing bliss yet, then we got some work to do. And if you are, we still have work to do, because that's the very meaning of glory to greater glory, good to greater good. And then we can get it down to the real business of life. The real business is to experience joy, to serve others, and to have a really good time. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to settle. We're not here to live mediocre lives. We're not here just to get through another day. We are here to thrive beyond our wildest dreams and connect with our passion and purpose. So I'm going to invite you to join me and allow that to be part of your intention. The intention is always, I would say every day, we want to connect with that which makes our heart sing. Your soul knows what makes your heart sing, so we connect to the soul's desires. That's what makes our heart sing. Our passions, our purpose, as it's known, we connect with that. You're here for a reason. You just didn't come here to sit and eat bonbons. You came here to have an adventure that is to be absolutely filled and thrilled with goodness. So welcome as everybody's coming in. Good to see you. Karen and Enoch and everybody else, welcome. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do spirituality. We know that beingness is often highlighted, that you have to get into your beingness, but you have to do that. So we're going to do it, we're going to be it, and we're going to do all of it. So I'm going to invite you to join me as we turn within. Again, we're setting the intention to connect with our passions and our purpose. And if there's anything in the way, any resistance, any procrastination, which is resistance, any worries or doubts, we are allowing the law transmutation to alchemize, recoagulate, readjust, rejuvenate, and expand us. We take a moment as I invite you to join me, just taking a beautiful, deep, slow breath. And as we do the holy breath, the breath of beauty, as we open our hearts, our bodies, our minds, our souls, we are deliberately turning into the prayer field. We know that prayer is the technology. Affirmative prayer is the technology that allows us to commune and connect with the law of creation, the law of benevolent satiation. For benevolent satiation is always undergirding. It's always trying to get to our good, to bring it to us. And as we dissolve our resistance, we open to that. So we take a moment and we use the energy of gratitude, which opens us. It allows us to become benevolently vulnerable. It opens us. Whether you just feel the frequency of gratitude, feel it, sense it. What color is it? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? We open to the energy of gratitude. Whether you become aware of things you're grateful for, your health, your friends, your family members, whatever it is that you're grateful for, perhaps it's one of your furry four-leggeds, whatever it is, we just take a moment in a field of gratitude and we open our hearts, our bodies, our minds, our souls even more, and we allow ourselves to become so open, so available. We take a moment as we open into this field and we remember that there is a grace and intelligence, a beauty, a light and love that undergirds all life. That universal presence, that power that is omniscient, all-wise, that is omnipotent, all-powerful, omnipresent in every space, in every place. That which we know as God or the universe, Allah or Jehovah, Yahweh or Adonai, whatever we call it, the Creator, the Great One, that which is back of all life, infused in all life. We know that the presence of the divine is in the stone, it is in our bones, it is in the flowers and the trees, it is in the furthest galaxies. We open to that. We know that no matter where we are, the entirety of the kingdom of heaven is. Heaven is not a place you go to or get to. It is a state of consciousness that we open to right now. It is with us everywhere we go. The divine is with us everywhere we go. A fully realized expression of this is heaven on earth. And so we allow ourselves to move into that fully realized expression by recognizing and remembering that we, each and every one of us, as stated in every sacred text around the world, in some way, shape, or form, states that we, each and every one of us, born, created in the image and the very likeness of the divine. And so we choose to know what that means, what it feels like, what it looks like, smells like, tastes like, sounds like. We choose to go deeper into the I am presence than ever before. I am one with the divine. I am a divine emanation of the Most High. We open to that, to the great remembering of who you are, who I am, who we are. We know that as divine angels, emissaries, harbingers, messengers of the divine, that there is a perfect blueprint that undergirds every dimension, aspect of our beingness. And although we may experience from time to time a challenge, whether that is in health or finances or relationships, situations or circumstances, we have never been forsaken, we have never been left. The divine has never been apart from us. It is impossible. So we return home right here, right now, and we enter into the realm of infinite benevolent potential and possibilities. We return home to the power and the presence of our soul. We return home knowing that we have never been hurt or harmed at the level of the soul. The soul knows nothing of struggle or strife. So we return to the beginning. We return here. We allow ourselves to bathe, to marinate, to rejoice, to feel as we have invited, evoked, and now we are allowing ourselves to go deeper and rise higher than ever before in our holy magnificence, knowing that every single person on this planet has equal access. No matter where we are, we have equal access, for we are one with this holy presence, and so we open to that. We have equal access not only to the divine, to our soul, to infinite source and supply of all good, but every benevolent opportunity, every gift and every talent that every master, every prophet, every avatar who has ever walked this earth, we have equal access. These and greater things ye shall do, as one of the masters said. And so we say yes to the great remembering of knowing, and we say yes to claiming it, for we must claim it. We must aim it and claim it. We aim towards it, we claim it. And so we are aiming and claiming our good, aiming and claiming the true nature of who we are. And we remember that we are one of the threads of the beautiful fabric of life. And so we say yes to knowing that at the very core of our beingness, that part of us that has never been hurt or harmed, that is communed and completely part of infinite benevolent potential, we open to the passions of our soul, and we allow our heart to reveal to us the communication of our soul, the truth of our soul, and we allow ourselves to awaken our divine sensorium, that we may always and only interpret life with divine right perception. For when we misinterpret, it creates a bunch of trouble. And so we are letting that go. We are allowing ourselves to move into divine right perception, opening our divine sensorium, reattuning that the outer eyes merge with the inner eye, the outer ears awaken to the inner ear. The voice of truth is the still small voice, the voice of the soul. So we open to that. We allow the surface mind to awaken to the higher mind, that we may always and only interpret life through truth, only and always interpret our emotions through truth, only and always interpret our feelings through truth, the capital T truth, not the ego's truth, not the lowercase t truth, but infinite eternal truth that everyone agrees upon, for it is birthed itself into this universe as the laws that keep everything in the state of homeostasis and cooperation. For these energies undergird all life. There is no life without cooperation, so we return to that. We allow that cooperation as homeostasis, radiant wellness in our bodies, emotions, and minds. We allow it as harmonizing good and mutual beneficial reverence, love, kindness, and respect in every relationship. The relationship with ourselves, that we love ourselves and see ourselves and know ourselves, accept ourselves as God knows, loves, and sees us, with not one granule of judgment, only pure, humble, self-loving self-esteem. We open into that. We allow ourselves to know that we are part of a greater and grander field of life. And just like there are millions of cells swirling around in your body, some that have taken the shape of a finger or an organ or a strand of hair, All of them are part of your body, and we are all part of the body of the divine, the body of humanity. We are a cell in the body of humanity. We are all connected. And so even though there might be one cell in your toe and one cell in your finger that seem like they are far apart, they are all connected in the field, the unified field of ever-expanding good. So we say yes to knowing our connection, that our body of affairs radiates and reflects beauty, kindness, generosity, love. We return to the perfect blueprint that never leaves, is never corrupted, never abandoned. It is always there. The perfect blueprint of your life, which is infused and imbued with passion and purpose. And there is an inertia, a divine inertia that is pulling you into a greater and grander experience of this. And so we say yes to that. And we say yes to knowing what brings us joy, knowing what makes our heart sing. So we open to that. And if there's anything that requires healing, if we have any concerns, any situations, any circumstances whatsoever, anything physically, emotionally, mentally, or situationally that requires any redemption, any healing, any transmutation, we open to that alchemizing law, and we say yes to having it reverberate, recoagulate, rejuvenate every aspect of our beingness. And as it does so through revelation, that we may have the aha within our beingness to know the truth that sets us free. And so I'm grateful to know that we all, each and every one of us, this is our shared destiny, wholeness, oneness, goodness, love, bliss. And so we open to that. And as we do, we take a moment and we move into our spiritual responsibility, the capital R, which means we are responsible to always be participating in circulating good. We circulate that good as blessings. And we bless everything and everyone. We know there are no enemies in the divine. We know that there is nothing against anything. There is no adversary in the divine. And so we say yes to blessing all relationships. Maybe we could use the vernacular of especially those that we consider to be against us. We bring them into alignment. We return home knowing nothing is against us. There is no enemy or frenemy. So we open to this. There's no irritation in the divine. There's no frustration in the divine. These are the indicators that something requires healing to bring us back into wholeness. And so we bring those into our awareness, those who have raised our eyebrow, rolled our eyes, or brought some ire to our beingness, and we say yes to blessing them right where they are. Integrity is, goodness is, divine right knowing and perception is, truth is. Their soul is seeking the truth just as ours is, and so we say yes to blessing them with that, blessing them with wholeness and wellness. For when everybody feels safe, everybody feels supported by the holy light, they are in integrity with kindness and generosity. It is the default, and so we bless those, whether it's a politician, whether it's a law enforcement official, whether it's somebody you saw acting a little out of integrity on the news or on social media or in the market or on the street. We bless them right where they are. Good is, divine right perception is available to them. Integrity, cooperation, prosperity, joy is right where they are. We open to that. We bless everyone. We move into that spiritual tenant that we bless our enemies. We love them and we return home. For at the level of the soul, we all rejoice. There are no enemies at the level of the soul or God. We know each other intimately, brilliantly, beautifully. We love each other better than your best friend, and we open to that. We open to that, and as we bless those that we think are a they, we know there is no they in the divine. There is only we, and we are all one. And so we bless them. We bring into our awareness any friends or family members that may be going through a challenging time, and we continue in our spiritual responsibility to bless them right where they are. Wellness is, peace is, love is, joy is, harmony is, support is, feeling so supported, so undergirded by truth, by grace, by beauty, by serendipity and synchronicity. We bless this for all of our friends and family members. Anybody going through a health challenge, we bless them with radiant wellness. We don't to know how or why. We just evoke it, we bless it, and we choose to believe, seek, and find it. We are one with this. And so I'm grateful to know as we go deeper, as we steep and step into a greater experience of faith. Faith that allows us to commune with the mystical wisdom of the universe. Faith opens the portal that we may understand the ahas, that we may understand the revelations. This is what we say, yes, expanding beyond the carnal mind, beyond intellectual linear understanding. We awaken to the divine mind, the mystical realms. This is what prayer does. It lifts us from the linear, from the finite to the infinite that unfolds with such elegant, brilliant beauty. We just begin to understand it as we explore the quantum field and other possibilities of other dimensions. And so we go back to the one dimension, the one magnificence. That is the divine. That is the beginning. We say yes to that. We take a moment and we hold in to the greatest and grandest vision of heaven on earth as your life. Anchoring heaven on earth as your life. We must participate in it. We are cultivating, we are growing, we are continuing to expand in our destiny of wholeness that is with us wherever we go. So we anchor heaven on earth through our beingness. We do so in part by rejoicing and thriving individually. And we do so by blessing and extending that energy collectively. And so we choose to capture and hold the vision of heaven on earth as a world that is in complete compliance and cooperation with universal law, beyond human law, beyond even physical law. We go into universal law and we bless the world knowing that there is no poverty in the divine, and so we see a world without poverty. There's no discord, there's no war in the divine, there is only cooperation and mutual magnificence. And so we see a world where there is no war. There is no racism in the divine. All souls are the beloved. And so we open and we rejoice and we see a world where there is no racism. There's just mutual magnificence and celebrations of all the shapes and sizes and colors, cultures, all of that. We rejoice in it. There's no selfishness in the divine, for all needs are all met for everyone. So we say yes to that. We see a world where everything is in harmony. The ecosystems, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, the mountains, the oceans, the sky, everything, the planets, the solar system, the galaxy. We open to that brilliance. We choose to see it. There's no separation in the divine. We see a world where governance is simply the radiance of universal law. And if there were politicians in heaven on earth, all they would do would be the beacons of light that shine out. There would be no opposition. There would just be brilliance and beauty and harmonizing good. So we hold into that. This is what it means to hold vigil, to hold prayer. We hold the space and we become empowered. We become strengthened and expanded. We are simply expanding our human experience to match our soulful experience. That is the journey of wholeness. That is the journey home to oneness. This is how we create heaven on earth or any other dimension. We know that heaven is the undergirding force in all dimensions, the one dimension that is the divine. And so we say yes to this. We remember that the law of creation from the human perspective is what we are participating in, and so we must ground what we choose to experience. We must bring it into our awareness by inviting, evoking, connecting to the desire. We ground it as it comes down, pulsing, that which we call chi or life force, elegantly, like a brilliant waterfall of light, flushing, washing, gushing down through the top of your energy field, that every part of your auric field, your morphogenetic field, your human energy field, is effulgent and resplendent with the light of God, of your soul. It cascades down through you, not only physically, emotionally, and mentally, but through all dimensions of all incarnations. It cascades down through the face, the shoulders, the torso, the hips, the legs, the feet. And I invite you once again to join me. Find your earth star. Many have seen it as a starburst of emerald green and white light located at the bottom of your energy field. And as we find it, we ground wellness, peace, love, joy. Feel the energy. Imagine it traveling down from the highest point you can imagine, from the very heart and light and love and brilliance of God Almighty through your beingness, your body, to your earth star, grounding like the roots of a tree in the most fertile soil, grounding peace, wellness, prosperity, joy for yourself. And as your cup runneth over, it ripples out, blesses and caresses everything and everyone else. Passion, brilliance, beauty, all needs met, cooperation, peace, joy, mutual reverence, kindness, love, and respect. We ground it so. Really feel it. Feel it in your feet and your toes and the ground beneath you in your earth star. Ground it, claim it, own it. We move into divine receptivity even more. We use free will and free choice to sign on the spiritual dotted line, for we ground it so, we claim it so, we allow it to be so by saying in acceptance, and so I let it be. And so it is. In the mind of God. Amen. 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 Ashe. Aho. Shalom. Hotep. Mahalo. And hallelujah. Just taking a moment. Oh, good to see you, Rosario. Good to see everybody who's coming in. Welcome. I'm grateful that all of you have been participating. Everybody at Soul Center, we just had such a great prayer practicum on Saturday. So grateful for all of our new prayer chaplains getting ready to graduate. Save the date, November 1st. We will be having our graduation. Peace and blessings to everyone. So good to see you. Good to see you, Jill, Reverend Jill. Good to see everyone else. Namaste. Have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day and week. Peace and blessings. All right. We're just gonna, there we go. All right, Zoomers. And Kathy, thank you so much. Those cookies were just awesome. Vegan, gluten-free. What more could a boy ask for? Peace and blessing. I still gotta shut down the other live feed. So have a wonderful day. Good to see you. You're welcome. All right, Zoomers.
Sending you all love.
Thank you.